Atomos scales down the Shogun, its popular 4K external recorder and monitor, with the new Ninja Assassin. Hi, I'm Mia McCormick. Like the rest of the Ninja lineup, the Assassin is an HDMI-only option built with the DSLR and mirrorless shooter in mind. It offers many of the features of the Shogun, but without all the external connections needed for professional video and audio equipment. There's also no RAW recording option. We're going to cover several aspects of the Ninja Assassin, including recording, monitoring, the user interface, the design of the Assassin, and finally some additional features. When it comes to recording, the Ninja Assassin accepts the uncompressed video signal from your camera's HDMI output, supporting resolutions up to Ultra HD. Now that's 3840 by 2160 at 30 frames per second. It can also record HD at frame rates up to 120 frames per second, which is great for slow motion playback. The Assassin records in a 10-bit 422 codec, either Apple's ProRes or Avid's DNxHR or DNxHD. If you're not familiar with professional video or working with these codecs, let me explain why this is a big advantage. Most DSLRs or small camcorders record highly compressed data internally, so you lose a lot of your ability to work with details in the editing process. When you take the uncompressed signal straight from the camera's sensor, then wrap it in a high bitrate codec, then you have the ability to go in and work with a lot more creative flexibility. The codecs are edit-friendly and can be worked with directly in most major editing and color grading applications with any format conversion. The Assassin records to 2.5-inch SSD or HDD drives and comes with one drive caddy, which you plug into the back of the device. If you're working with a DSLR or mirrorless camera, you can now break the common 30-minute video recording barrier. Camera overheating isn't a concern because the camera is not processing the data internally, so you can record as much continuous media as your SSD can hold. For analog audio recording, you'll find one line level input suitable for microphones you may already be using with your DSLR. Now you know about the brains, so let's talk about the Assassin's face, so to speak. The 7.1-inch 1920 by 1200 display is sharp and large enough to help you get a good grasp on what the details look like in your frame. It's easy to spot stray hairs or if something's off in the background immediately. And when it comes to color, the screen is calibrated to a Rec. 709, but there's also a Canon C-Log calibration for EOS Cinema shooters. You can use the Atomos Spider to maintain the calibration. The Assassin also allows you to import custom 3D LUTs, which lets you more accurately monitor log or flat-looking footage while on set. The LUT can be used for monitoring only, or applied to the recorded image to capture a specific and finalized look straight from the camera. LUTs can also be looped out to an external monitor. The viewing angle is about 178 degrees, so a crowd of people can stand around and they can all see the monitor with ease. The monitoring tools are all located right here in the bottom right corner. You'll see a waveform icon for things like Luma and RGB Parade, Vector Scope, and Vector Zoom. And what's nice is you can pick where on the screen you want those tools to appear and how transparent you want them to be. The same goes for the monitor assist tools like peaking, zebra, safe guides, and more. Again, most of these tools are customizable in some way, such as peaking color and intensity. You'll also find a 1:1 and 2:1 zoom tool in these menus to help you achieve critical focus. Of course, you can play back the footage you've recorded instantly to make sure you've captured the moment exactly the way you want to, or to showcase it on a monitor via HDMI. Now let's talk about the user interface. Atomos products are well known for their signature touchscreen displays and colorful controls. The screen is very responsive, and I never really had a problem getting into any of the menus or adjusting the settings. Along the top are several drop-down menus for changing settings like resolution, frame rate, and pull-down, format, and battery power. Then along the bottom are your audio controls, record and playback buttons, menu, and tools. The layout is very intuitive and easy to navigate. You can access all your key settings quickly, and nothing's really buried. Touch the audio controls and you'll see levels for up to 8 channels of audio. The Ninja Assassin definitely sets itself apart. The first thing you'll notice is a bright red protective bumper. Now, it's made of a stretchy rubbery material and it's easy to slide on and off. The Assassin weighs 15 ounces on its own, which is fairly lightweight. But once you add in an SSD drive and a battery, it may feel a little bit top-heavy on a small mirrorless camera or DSLR. There are 1/4 mounting holes on both the top and the bottom, and I'd suggest mounting it separately. The red bumper has a kickstand in back for tabletop viewing, but it didn't really work for me. The stand wasn't quite strong enough to hold the weight of the device and the battery together. Along one side is a DC power in, a power cord is included, plus the line level input. On the other side, you'll find a remote input, a headphone jack, and HDMI in and outputs. A large fan and heat pipe in the back keeps the Assassin well ventilated without being noisy. The device and charging cables come in this well-protected zipper case, but there are quite a few support accessories that you'll need to actually get started recording with the Ninja Assassin. Those include a docking station to update your firmware and transfer your footage, an HDMI cable, a Sony L-series type battery, and an SSD drive to record to. Let's touch on a few extra features that I think you'll find handy. The Assassin has 4K down conversion to 1080p at the same frame rate, so you can choose to output UHD, which is generally not supported on other recorders, or HD. It allows for trigger recording from the camera record button depending on the camera you're using, and there's a cool pre-roll cache recording feature that records up to 8 seconds before you actually press the record button to make sure you don't miss something. And there's some nice video time-lapse options that allow for speed ramping and scheduled start and stop times. Well, that's our review of the Ninja Assassin. It's a nice alternative to the Shogun for those operating in the more consumer-friendly 4K space. Thanks for watching.
Whether you're a hobbyist or a professional, B&H has the answers to your questions. Experience a world of technology at our New York City Superstore. Connect with us online or give us a call. Our staff of experts is happy to help.